I heard something really interesting a while back, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. It was a specific date, November the 2nd in the year 2000. This was the last time that all living humans were on the Earth, the last day when we were all here together. People have come and gone from the Earth, of course, since the first manned spaceflight in April 1961, but these people have always come back, usually before others have also taken off. But November the 2nd, 2000 was the day that the first crew arrived at the International Space Station. And after November the 2nd, 2000, there has been a constant, uninterrupted human presence up there in space. There's always been someone not subject to the Earth bounds, someone floating there away from all of us, part of humanity but separate, disconnected in the most extreme way possible from the goings-on in the day-to-day life of the rest of us down here on the ground. The crews do get to come home. I'm not saying that it's the same people who've been sitting up there for the last 24 years, but they get replaced before they come home. There's always someone up there. I'm not talking about people in airplanes or simply people jumping, but people being physically separated from the Earth, out there in space in a self-sustaining separation, in a way that would take some kind of intervention to return, where what goes up doesn't necessarily have to come down. I suppose this idea could be taken back to the first manned flights, the Wright brothers, orbital flying for 36.5 meters or 120 feet for around 12 seconds until he returned to the ground. And not too far past that day, December the 17th, 1903, there would have been some unknown point where there was always someone in a plane somewhere in the sky, when they would have been replaced by someone else in a different plane before they landed. Humans showing their constant need to expand horizons and explore and travel and experience other places. They all return one way or another, but there's always someone flying around. Going from this first flight to flying to space in just 60 years is really quite amazing. It's just a weird concept to think that we will most likely never all be together again. We, of course, are never all together, but the surface of the Earth unites us as people, or ignoring, of course, the submariners floating in neutral buoyancy somewhere under the oceans, and also ignoring the fact that there are so many things, geographical, mental, ideological, and countless more that separate people ordinarily, boundaries and borders, physical and imaginary. We're all here on the Earth, part of humanity, except for those few floating far above us. Interestingly, the orbit of the International Space Station is only 408 kilometers above sea level. That's 254 miles, or about 46 times the height of Mount Everest. That's really not that far when I can legally travel that far in my car in about 4 hours. But it is far, metaphorically and physically, as up is so much further than across in this context. It's a long way, but at the same time, in the infinite of the universe, it's practically nothing. The people up there in space are still closer to us than they are to anything else out there in the vast emptiness of space. It's just something that I thought was interesting, that there was a clear defined point when we were all together and then we weren't anymore. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Bye.